Hi, I'm Lisa, the artist behind Lachri Fine Art. Today is Tuesday, so I will be critiquing one of your original paintings or drawings. If you have an original painting or drawing that you would like to submit for critique, head over to my website, lachri.com/critiques, link below in the video description, and you can submit your work there. Today we are taking a look at this 16 by 20 inch oil painting done by artist Chelsea Sorensen. You can check out more of Chelsea's work at her DeviantArt website. The link is below in the video description. This was only Chelsea's second painting, which is pretty awesome. First off, looking at some of the things that I really like about this piece, your brush strokes. I really like the loose painterly style that you've used here, letting those brush strokes show. Very nice look. I also like the colors with the shadows and the highlights with the blues and yellows and greens. I like the colors that you've used here. Very nicely done. Moving on to some of the things that we can adjust to improve even more on this. The first thing when I looked at this, and thank you so much for sending your reference photo, the first thing that I noticed, the larger goat, her eyes are just, the one on the one side is way too big and the one on the other side is too small. So that side needs to enlarge a little bit and this one needs to shrink down a bit. I was making the adjustments myself on that and then realized as I was comparing and checking my work against itself, so much on the drawing is actually a bit inaccurate. And what happens when you're drawing, when one little thing is off on your drawing, it throws everything else off on your drawing. So you've got to constantly be checking your work against itself. So what I did was layer your reference photo on top of your painting. I made it transparent so that I could see and line it up. I lined up the head on the larger goat with yours, matching her eyes in about the right location, and then went ahead and took away the transparency and I outlined it in red. I know, oh my gosh, she's got a red marker, but I outlined it in red so that we could get a general idea of how the perspective and proportions should be, and then we're able to compare that with yours. So removing the photo and just looking at the general outline, comparing the two, you can see if we made the head the same size that you have it painted, then the body of the rest of the goat is too small. And then everything else is off just a little bit. The baby goat is a little too far to the side. And that's not to say that you can't adjust that and move the baby goat over. It's just that everything is a little bit off. And when one thing ends up being a little off, when you go back and compare your work, like the distance between here and here should be equal to the distance over here and here, you can't compare it against yourself to check yourself for accuracy because the certain things are off in that sense. So just as a sample, let's drop out those red lines, and I'm going to show you, like, if we compare the distance here and here, both with a green line, those two areas should be the same length, which should be the same length as these other areas. But if in this case, like, your head is much too big for considering the size of the body, then all of that is going to be off when you're comparing yourself. So you just want to check yourself as you're drawing continuously before you ever start painting, because once you start painting, you can't really go back and change all of this without having to redo everything. So it's super important. Just make sure your outline is accurate and your perspectives are all there and you're close. I can tell you've got drawing skill. You're going to be awesome at this. You just want to double check everything. What does a carpenter say? Measure twice, cut once, or something like that. But just measure and check stuff against itself. Like, what I like to do is, like in this case, I can say, okay, the ear is this long. What else in this painting on this goat is going to be that same size? In this case, the distance on the face is the same size. So I'm going to check myself on my painting and make sure the length of my ear is the same as the length on the face as the other areas in the painting. You just want to check yourself like that continuously as you're working to make your work as accurate as possible. You've done a great job. I can't believe this is only your second painting. You are going to be wonderful with this. So definitely keep it up, and thank you so much for submitting. If any of you guys have an original painting or drawing that you would like to submit for critique, head over to my website, lachri.com/critiques, link below in the video description, and you can submit your work there. I have new video critiques every Tuesday where I'm critiquing one of your original paintings or drawings, my own speed paintings, drawings, and tutorials every Wednesday, and vlogs most weekends. So make sure you subscribe and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those social media sites, links below in the video description to keep up with news and my newest work. Make sure to head back tomorrow where I am going to be demonstrating some of the different ways that you can blend colored pencil. I'll see you guys tomorrow.